Hey there, baseball fans, it's Ben, and today I've got a factory-sealed set break of 1992 Fleer. So let's get going. You can see it's wrapped in the Fleer cellophane here, the Fleer plastic. This is 732 cards, excuse me, of the first time that Fleer actually made a go at producing nice feeling and looking cards. And I'm excited to break into this because I know there's one card in here that I want and do not have. So that's the good thing about a set, is that you get whatever it is you want, because you don't have to guess. So I am excited to guarantee myself to get the Smoke and Heat pitching series, which is only available in these retail sets. And it does, in fact, include a card from the one and only Nolan Ryan on Smoke and Heat, which I do not have in my collection, and I'm going to add to my personal collection. So we will break through this whole set, and we will look at the Smoke and Heat, of course. Ooh, looks nice, tightly packed. Let me see if I can get them out of here. Geez, that is, they did not spare any room at all for this. So let's see if we can get that out. All right, here it is. And you recall they chose the hot color at the time, the kind of tealish color. I always thought it was more green than teal, but see if these are in any kind of order. 718, 713. Nope, no order at all. So looking forward to seeing the subsets like Provisions and seeing my favorite players in here. So we know we're going to get all of the cards. There are a couple errors, I guess, that we can look out for too, but there's Dave Justice Provision. There are only a few Provisions in this set. So this is the Tomahawk one. There's the Ken Griffey Jr., my very first pull here. One of the nicer cards in the set. So if you have not collected a lot of these cards, in this video you will see every 1992 Fleer card that they printed. At least the base set. And like I said, that we have that insert set in here that you can only get from the retail sets. Rookie no-hitter, that actually was a pretty big deal. I don't think he had much of a career after that, but Wilson Alvarez, that is. And the good thing about these factory sealed sets, there's a Larry Walker, is that all the cards are in really good shape because there's been no water damage or any other kind of damage. This is the first time they've seen the light of day in 30 years. And they were really packed in there tightly too. So there's Eddie Murray, Hall of Famer. And this is one of those sets that's kind of, when you look up errors in this set, it's super annoying because on the back, I'll show you the back. It says 1992 Fleer Corporation, Philadelphia, printed in USA. And some of them have a period at the end of the USA, and some of them don't. And so there are variations on that for every single card, but it literally does not matter in terms of collectability for one or the other. So I don't know why we care, but. So this is clearly, oh, there's the Nolan Ryan base card right there. So one of the better cards in the set. I'm going to put that aside for myself, as well as Wade Boggs. So I do have, this set obviously is the one with the period at the end. Now these are, I want to say they're sticking together because they're not. Actually, that was just a faulty thicker card. Not like UV sticking where it's going to have to be a problem, but it's there. And there's Ryan Sandberg. So we're getting like all these players in that very first pull of mine there. So that goes in my personal collection. They're not sliding through as easily as maybe they have for me in the past. All right. So I'll be interested to see where that insert set lives in this box. We'll move through here pretty quick. There's Juan Gonzalez. Since we don't want this to be too long of a video. Also, this, you know, the prospects subset in here. There's the highlights subset. There's Jose Canseco, Paul Molitor. I do love breaking up these sets, though. Will Clark, George Brett. There's a little piece of me, there's a League Leaders subset too, that feels bad about taking a complete set. Because, you know, a lot of collectors spend their time creating sets. And to be on the other side of that where you're breaking a set sometimes feels wrong or off. But on the other hand, I do just like kind of getting in there and knowing that I've got every single card in my possession and in my hand, and knowing that nothing will escape my gaze. There's Super Siblings with Roberto Alomar and Sandy Alomar. So when it comes to 1992 Fleer, if anybody ever asks, oh, have you seen this one from 92 Fleer? My answer is going to be yes, because now I will have seen them all and owned them all. Oh, look, I see some, all right, Smoking Heat already starting to show up. There's the Jim Abbott. That is not down here. And there's the Lee Smith. Here's what these cards look like. Gold foil printing on the front. 12 card set. We'll put those aside. I wonder if anybody cares about that complete set. Or I gotta imagine it's probably pretty easy for people to have that set because they come in these. You can't get them individually. There's Robin Yount. So it's not like an insert set that you collect to try and build the set. Like, if you've got them, you've got the set. Unless you have people like me who break it up and sell it to people. My one gripe about this 92 Fleer set is that the names are on the right-hand side. And so you have to reveal, if you like to flip through the cards quickly, you have to reveal the whole card before you see the name. So you can't just do this. You have to go all the way over. And actually, they did the opposite of that in 1993. They put a sliver down this left-hand side. There's Tino Martinez. I think that's a rookie card for him. Yeah. A sliver down the left-hand side with the name. And so those, you can actually just flip through them really fast with the name on the left without even seeing the whole card. Tom Glavine. So in this series, 1992, they did a partnership with Roger Clemens to create, there's Frank Thomas, to create an insert set about Roger Clemens. And then in 93, they switched over to Tom Glavine and did one for him. Wait, why is that a record for 3 100 RBI seasons? Making the Blue Jays the third different team. Oh, 300 RBI seasons for 3 different teams. All right, there you go. Baseball is full of random stats and records like that. That's kind of what makes it so fun, I think. So we got another Smoking Heat dedicated to the greatest pitchers of the year, of the day. Julio Franco with League Leaders. I think my favorite card in this whole set is that Nolan Ryan Provision card, though. It's the one of him kind of tallying up his strikeouts on the wall. Looks like, you know, on a prison wall. Just a really nice image. There's Craig Biggio finishing up his catching days. So I've got quite a few of those in my collection, but looking forward to adding another pristine version. Mo Vaughn rookie into my collection there. So Andre Dawson, Dennis Eckersley. There's Steve Avery, Smoking Heat. And David Cohn, Smoking Heat. Nice looking cards. So Fleer definitely went a little insert / special card crazy in 92 because they saw how, oh, there's the Ken Griffey Jr. Provision. Next Generation. Edgar Martinez there. By having, you know, rookie sensations, there's Ricky Henderson, adding the Smoke and Heat, adding All-Star inserts, Roger Clemens inserts. So they have a lot of insert series in various formats here. There's Lee Smith, league leaders. Led the league in, what? Saves, probably? Eric Karros. Not sure why I put Eric Karros aside. I just do. So everybody's got their own thing. It's so funny that, you know, some players stick with you when you're younger and, you know, kind of hold on to them. There's Roger Clemens. Paul O'Neill. Dave Winfield. Terry Pendleton was I think he was a national MVP that year too. He was a batting champion, had career season that year in '91. Let's see if I can move that a little bit. All right. So we know we've got at least one Smoke and Heat in here too. Tony Gwynn. All right, so there's Randy Johnson, Smoke and Heat. Really looking forward to seeing that Nolan Ryan. Where is it going to be? Jack McDowell. Cal Ripken Jr. Nicely done. The Iron Man. Frank Thomas. I love that shot of him with the explosive bat. Time bomb. Very good. Ozzie Smith. How come nobody wears those flip-up glasses anymore? Mark McGuire. There's Cal Ripken's base card. Mark Grace, hey, there's my buddy. So I'll add that to my collection. All right, we're about halfway through here. Tim Raines, Hall of Famer. Dion Sanders. John Schmaltz. Wade Boggs and Harold Baines. Henry Rodriguez, rookie card there. For what it's worth. We've got about half of those Smoke and Heat. I'm actually surprised they're not just on their own at the end, but they're mixed in. And I always wondered, you know, how they make sure they have every card in these sets when they don't put them in order. Sammy Sosa, before he switched over to the Cubs on the other side of town. Look at all those Auburn alum. That's actually a really good card. Usually Fleer has these weird cards like this, combinations of people, but this is a great one. 2 Orioles and 2 Sox, all Auburn alum. Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas. There's a Kenny Lofton rookie card. Jeff Bagwell. And what do we have here? A few more Smoking Heat. They like to come in pairs. Can't get this apart. Andy Bennis. And Roger Clemens. Robin Yount, Provision. Roberto Alomar, almost missed that Hall of Fame card right there. Still looking for that Sean Dunston, which is the only base card of my personal collection players that we haven't hit yet. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit. Man, it's a high leg kick. That must have been so intimidating come down on you. 6'10", right? 6'10", yeah. Jeez. There's Steve Avery. Strange to choose a picture of him batting, but there it is. Barry Larkin, Hall of Fame shortstop. Yeah, some of these cards just feel a little thicker than the other ones. This one you can tell was cut a little funny too. And Fleer out of Philadelphia, which I didn't live there until the mid to late 90s. But, you know, if I would have been into card collecting then, I'm sure it would have been, I would have made a trip over to the factory or something like that. I think Topps was doing a lot of their printing out of the Pennsylvania, out of Pennsylvania at least, not Philadelphia, but. Monty Ferris, I think there's somewhere in here where they call him Paul. Yeah, look. They can't find a place to put him. Paul started as a shortstop. So, not sure why they call Monty Ferris Paul, but they definitely did. So, Alan Trammell. Dante Bichette. I always wonder, like, who finds a lot of these errors or inconsistencies, because some of them are very obscure and you'd have to be like really looking closely at the front and back of every card ever. I think there's Bernie Williams. I think the variations and errors in baseball cards, the acknowledgement of them at least, skyrocketed once the internet came around, because you could, you had lots of, you can kind of essentially crowdsource. And anybody who ever found it can now tell everybody. Mike Messina. And there's Dwight Gooden, Smoking Heat. And there it is. Nolan Ryan, Smoking Heat. The one I'm so super excited to add to my collection. Right, so that was, I mean, honestly worth the whole acquisition of the whole set to me. Now I know I could probably buy the individual card on eBay or something for pretty cheap. And there's the Provision right there, which I was glad to see. For those of you who watched my previous video about the diamond marks, here's a really interesting piece for you. This is the Provision we just pulled. This is the diamond marks. So these are the same thing, clearly. And Fleer has cropped this in, but you can see there's more to this image. So definitely some, I don't know if Fleer is involved here or they just contacted the same artist and said, hey, can we also license those images you created? So interesting point there, I think. And something I did not know until, last week or so, whenever I made that video. Yvonne Rodriguez. Barry Bonds. See if I can flip through these a little faster now, but they keep, they've been holding on to each other. These cards have been holding on to each other for 30 years. They don't want to let go. Just Dwight Gooden. I can't quite get through them as fast as I would want. But if you've come this far, perhaps you're willing to go a little further. Day of Justice. Today and tomorrow. Mo Vaughn and Cecil Fielder. There's Goose Gossage, Hall of Famer. Kirby Puckett, Ricky Henderson record setter. Harold Baines, Hall of Fame. And just two more handfuls here with our last Smoking Heats, probably. Vince Coleman. And again, if you watch this whole video, you too can say you've seen every single 1992 Fleer card in the set. There's the Jim Thome rookie, which is probably the best, one of the best cards in the set. Definitely the best rookie, I think. Carlton Fisk, Gary Carter, two Hall of Fame captures right in a row. The Indispensables with Joe Carter and Cal Ripken Jr. Jack Morris, Hall of Famer. Sean Dunston, there he is. There's the one I've been waiting for. All right, so add another one of those to my collection. And here are probably our last two Smoking Heat. There's Tom Glavine, followed by Scott Erickson, who was a young gun. Super hot for his first couple seasons before falling off. And the last one starts off with a Nolan Ryan record setter for his 7th no-hitter, which is a remarkable feat. Tom Glavine, league leader. Bo Jackson. Larkin and Puckett. And bring us on home. Greg Maddux, the last card in the set. So there you have it. All 732 1992 Fleer cards, plus the Smoking Heat 12 card insert series. See here. So you've seen them all, and now you can go off and collect them all, or reach out to me and ask me for them. I got them. I'll see you next time.